This is Bunker INDUST new hydraulic jack. We're going to be taking a look at this. They sent this out for review, so we're going to be seeing how it stacks up. I want to walk you through some tips on using a device like this so you don't get hurt, and just seeing what I think about it. So let's hop into this. As you can tell, this is not your normal style floor jack. This is considered a high lift jack because, well, it goes very high. All you got to do to make it go up is loosen this thing down here, go ahead and pull up, and you can get it ready to mount where you want to mount it. So if you want to start jacking up at this height, you can go ahead and start jacking up here. Want to go up higher, just like that, clamp down on it, and it's good to go. You can start jacking on something that's this high. Very convenient for when you're off-roading. If you have rock sliders, you can get it on the rock sliders, on an off-road bumper, but it is also very dangerous to use because there's only one point of contact on the ground. This jack can lift 4,400 pounds, which is good enough to lift one portion of the vehicle up. You're not going to be lifting the whole vehicle up with this, and it's not recommended. So in a practical application, we were out on a trail and I'm stuck. All four of my tires are deep down in the sand. They're spinning. I can't get any traction, or the snow. Can't get any traction. I go ahead, get this ready. I put it on my rock sliders, make sure that this is good contact to the ground, and start jacking up just enough to lift my tire up, so maybe I can fit my traction board underneath of it or stack some rocks under there to be able to get enough traction to get me dug out of the hole I'm in. This is great for solo recovery as well, but you have to be very educated on how to use these so you don't hurt yourself, have this jack kick out from under you when you're underneath the vehicle. That is worst case scenario. Again, you're not going to be using this to work on your vehicle, take the tires off, change the oil. This is not that kind of jack. This is a recovery jack, an emergency recovery jack. But if you know anything about high lift jacks, they are very dangerous. They work really well for lifting things up, but they also work well when trying to remove people from the gene pool. So you have to be very educated when using one of these. Make sure everything is set up, make sure everything's tight. So we want to go down here, make sure everything's tight, good to go. Now, unlike a normal cheap high lift jack, they use mechanical energy to move things. So if you've ever seen videos, and I'll try to post one up right here, of somebody using a high lift jack, it has the ability to slip and pop. And this is considered the danger zone. Now, I'm no expert, so I'm going to try my best to explain to you the dangers of using a normal high lift jack and why this is better than that. So a normal high lift jack, this is a danger zone here, and people can put their heads in here, be jacking up, and this mechanical, this is not a mechanical one, but if this was, it has the ability to pop under tension, and this handle can come down, boom, smash your hands, smash your head. So on a mechanical jack, mechanical high lift jack, you really got to be careful with sticking your hands, head, any kind of appendage that you don't want to accidentally be removed in this area. But because this is a hydraulic jack, you really don't have that risk. It's all hydraulic fluid in there that's moving this up and down. So the chance of it popping like a mechanical jack, not really going to happen. So that is one danger point that's going to be removed when using a jack like this. And because of the way these jacks are designed to lift up on high points of the vehicle and not really get under there on the frame, there's minimal applications that you can use this on a stock vehicle. Now, this is my GX470 that we're starting to build on the channel, and I don't have rock sliders or any off-road bumpers on this. So where can I mount this to be able to lift up and use it on a stock vehicle? Well, on this vehicle, I do have a hitch. So we can do that, but we still got to be very careful. It's not recommended to jack up on the hitch, but in a pinch, if we were stuck, this is what I would do. I don't recommend this for safety things, but you can do it, and I'll show you how. Make sure your e-brake's on. Make sure your front tires have some kind of brace point so your vehicle isn't going to slide forward on you. Make sure it's in gear, not in drive, park. If it's a manual, make sure it's in a gear that's not going to slide out from you. But go ahead, that looks like a good place where I would want that. Go ahead, put that down. I don't know if you can see me very well. Make sure it's all flat on the ground there. You can start jacking up. See how it's lifting up, lifting up. Now in this example, all I'm trying to do is get the back tires off the ground enough to be able to fit my traction boards underneath the back of this vehicle so I can get some traction because I'm not digging out. To let go on this jack, it's got a button right here. You press it and it slowly comes down. Now, this isn't like a normal jack that's going to come down easily. It does need pressure to come down. So if you're realizing that it's not coming down, you may have to put your foot on it, like that, and it'll go down. And that button is right there. A lot better than dealing with a high lift jack where it's very scary to get them to come down. Hydraulic is always better than mechanical when lifting vehicles up. The other practical application for a jack like this for a stock vehicle that's going out exploring is you can use it as a come along, put a tow rope on the vehicle, tie off to a tree or something, have this in between, and go ahead and you can give it a jack and pull the vehicle towards you to get yourself unstuck a little bit. Now I would just use a come along, but if you don't have one, it can work in a pinch. I am by no means a vehicle recovery expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but this is how I would use it on a stock vehicle. Now, where this jack really shines is in the off-road built community, where you have tubes, you have off-road welded bumpers, you have welded on rock sliders, where you can jack up on different points of the vehicle and really get yourself unstuck and out of a jam. So for the moderate off-roader who runs 4 service roads, maybe goes out once or twice a month, goes on a camping trip, I don't really see a practical use for this, even though the build quality is really good and I like it. I don't see a practical use for this. And where this really shines is the off-roading community that is going out every weekend with built Jeeps, built Tacomas, have a ton of jack points on there and are really off-roading their rigs and are really getting themselves in some sticky situations and need a good recovery tool to get out of. That's where this shines, and I think that's where their market is. This is a very impressive jack. So let's go ahead and talk build quality. This thing is built tough. It's solid aluminum and steel all the way around, even the bottom piece down here. Tap my ring on it so you can tell. All these knobs down here are all aluminum. You can lock it. Everything is built really strong. This is steel or maybe cast. I will do a long running review if I ever run into any issues using this out on the trail. I'll keep you guys updated. But from my standpoint right here, this thing is built tough and it is built to last. It comes in a nice carrying bag. I'll show you that here. And it does have another tool, another application that you can use it. And that's to be able to attach to your wheels. Now I went ahead and hooked this up to my tire to show you how the attachment works that they have. So you can see I have the jack sitting there, come down here, I have it jacked up, and it's on my steel wheels with these little hooks. See that? And you can pull up on the tire like that. Now I don't like using that only because it is very sketchy. Look at the angle that the jack is at. Like I said, do not get underneath the vehicle when you're using something like this because the chances of it slipping pretty high. This is an emergency jack that you only want to use when you absolutely have to. Typically, if you're using this, you're having a bad day. That's the way I see it. And it does have some extra safety features too built in, so you don't want to rely on that hydraulic pressure to hold up the jack while you're messing around doing whatever you're doing. So it does have locking pins down at the bottom that lock on both sides to give you some extra added piece there when you're getting your recovery on. All in all, I think this gets a 10 out of 10 when comparing it to other high lift jacks on the market. I've never ran a high lift jack because I don't trust them. I would rather have one of these in my vehicle than a normal cheap high lift jack from, let's say, Harbor Freight. I would never even run one of those. That's just me personally. If you run one on your vehicle, more power to you. I know a lot of guys just run them on there to look cool, but to actually use them, if you're stuck in a recovery situation, I would just rather not. I would just be stuck forever. But this, on the other hand, bridges that gap, makes me feel a lot more comfortable using it rather than a normal high lift jack, which is great. So if you're on the fence and you're looking for some kind of high lift jack for your setup and don't really want to commit, I guess it's not that much money to commit to a cheap one, but if you don't want to commit and risk your life, I think this will bridge that gap a little bit and make you feel a little bit more comfortable in your recovery operations. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this jack. Would you ever run a high lift jack like this? I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And if you, I'm talking to you right there. If you hit that subscribe button, we're gonna be one step closer. Also, check this video out right here. It's pretty good, and I'll see you in the next one.